I am not average. These 4 words are more than a statement. They are a war cry. When I wake up, before I even brush my teeth or check my phone, I look dead into the mirror and remind myself, I am not like them. I am not built to exist in the middle. Average is where dreams go to die. And mediocrity is a disease that infects those who are too afraid to stand out. The average man hits snooze, scrolls Instagram, drinks his weak coffee, and complains about why life isn't fair. But me, I'm a weapon. A machine. I wasn't born with a silver spoon, but I chose to sharpen my mind like a blade. You know what happens when you label yourself average? You give yourself permission to settle, to tolerate, to quit. Society wants you to blend in, to be normal, to follow the herd, to stay in line. But when has anything legendary ever come from being normal? You think warriors, kings, champions, or CEOs became what they are by acting like the masses? No, they had to first convince themselves that they were different, that their blood boiled with fire and ambition, that being average was not only unacceptable, it was insulting. There's a war happening outside, a war for your mind, your potential, your time, and the average man is already defeated before he even leaves the house, because he wakes up believing he's nothing special. But me? I remind myself every damn day, I'm not built like them. I don't think like them. I don't live like them. And because of that, I don't lose like them. No one owes me anything. That's the mindset of a man who builds his empire brick by brick with blood on his knuckles and sweat on his brow. I don't sit around waiting for handouts, for pity, for applause. I don't expect the world to feel sorry for me. Why should it? The universe doesn't care about my problems, and neither does anyone else. And that's not a tragedy, it's a gift. It means everything I get, everything I achieve, everything I dominate, it's mine because I earned it. Nobody handed it to me. Nobody gifted me success on a silver platter. I took it. You walk around expecting someone to recognize your potential, to offer you opportunities, to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Stop. That's weakness disguised as hope. You think the lions in the jungle sit there whining because no one served them a meal? No, they hunt. They move with precision. They fight. And that's what I do every day. If I don't have what I want, I go out and get it. If someone closes a door on me, I kick it open or build a better one. The truth is brutal but freeing. No one's coming to save you. No mentor, no coach, no rich uncle. You are the rescue mission. You are the storm. Once you stop expecting the world to give you something, you become powerful. Because now you're not waiting, you're doing. You become ruthless, focused, disciplined. Because everything you do with the fire of someone who knows that if he doesn't act, no one else will. That's how I live. That's how I win. Because I stopped expecting and I started taking. Your emotions are tools, not bosses. Let me say that again. Tools, not bosses. That means they work for you, not the other way around. Weak men wake up and let their emotions drive the car. They feel tired, so they skip the gym. They feel anxious, so they avoid risk. They feel sad, so they sit around waiting for life to magically get better. But I don't live that way. I use my emotions like weapons. I wield them like a sword. Anger, I channel it into discipline. Fear, I turn it into fuel. Sadness, I bury it under progress. The problem with most people is they let their feelings dictate their actions. That's why they stay stuck. You don't need to feel like doing something to do it. You think I feel like training when I'm exhausted? You think I feel like grinding when the whole world's relaxing? No, but I do it anyway. Because I'm not a slave to how I feel, I'm a master of what needs to be done. Emotions are natural. You'll feel doubt, you'll feel stress, you'll feel lazy. But that doesn't mean you bow to those emotions. You recognize them, acknowledge them, then put them in their place. Behind you. Because if you want to become powerful, you need to operate above emotion. Cold, focused, strategic. A man who lets emotions lead his decisions is a man who hands over his crown before he even builds his kingdom. Control your emotions or they will control you. And if they control you, you're already defeated before the day even begins. Comfort is the enemy. It's seductive. It whispers sweet lies. It tells you, you've done enough. Relax. Take it easy. You deserve a break. That voice is poison. That voice is weakness. Every morning when your bed feels warm and your eyes are heavy, that's the moment of war. That's the battle between who you were yesterday and who you could become today. And if you choose comfort, you lose. You lose time, you lose strength, you lose your edge. Because comfort kills potential faster than failure ever will. Look around. Comfort has built a generation of soft men, addicted to convenience, allergic to effort. They want results without grind, respect without work, power without sacrifice. But nothing worth having comes from comfort. Growth doesn't live in a warm bed or under cozy blankets. Growth lives in the pain, in the discipline, in the daily war against ease. Every time I push through that moment where comfort tries to take over, I become sharper, stronger, hungrier. When I was broke, grinding in silence, nobody was clapping for me. No one cared. But I embraced the discomfort. I used it. I trained harder. I read more. I worked while others slept. Because I understood comfort is a trap. And the minute you accept it as normal, you lose the fire, you lose the fight. So every single morning, I remind myself, if it's comfortable, it's probably not worth it. I chase the pain, I chase the resistance. Because I know on the other side of that discomfort is everything I want and everything they'll never have. Discipline is the real freedom. People think freedom is doing whatever you want, whenever you want. That's not freedom, that's chaos. That's weakness in disguise. True freedom comes when you are in control of you, when your mind commands your body and your habits serve your purpose. Every successful man you admire didn't get there by chasing comfort or waiting to feel motivated. He built a fortress of discipline around his life and lived inside it like a king. When I was starting out, broke, unheard of, and hungry, I didn't have motivation, I had discipline. I didn't care if it was raining, if I was tired, if my muscles ached, or if no one believed in me. I showed up anyway. I trained anyway. I read, worked, studied, fought. Because I knew something most people ignore. Discipline builds momentum, and momentum builds empires. It's the boring, repetitive, thankless actions that separate the elite from the ordinary. The gym sessions when no one's watching, the grind after midnight, the choices that no one claps for. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a mindset. Motivation fades. It dies with bad weather, with one bad day, with one rejection. But discipline, that's eternal. That's what makes you unstoppable. You want to be free? Free from regret? Free from poverty? Free from weakness? Then you need to build unshakable discipline. Because once you're the type of man who does what needs to be done, regardless of how he feels, then you own your life. You dominate it. That's real power. That's real freedom. Most people are asleep with their eyes open. They walk around like ghosts, breathing, blinking, scrolling, existing, but not living, not thinking, not aware. They wake up, go through the motions, eat the same food, have the same conversations, complain about the same things, and then wonder why nothing changes. They're stuck in a loop, programmed by a system that wants them obedient, weak, and distracted. They're not alive. They're on autopilot, trapped in a cycle of mediocrity so deep, they don't even realize they're drowning in it. When I step outside, I see zombies. People hypnotized by their phones, their routines, their excuses. They don't question. They don't act. They don't feel the fire in their chest anymore because the system killed it. School taught them to follow. Jobs taught them to obey. Entertainment taught them to escape. And by the time they realize life is slipping away, it's too late. The light is gone from their eyes. But me? I chose to wake up. I chose to see, to feel, to fight. I ripped the blindfold off and realized that awareness, true awareness, is rare and dangerous because once you're awake, you can't go back. You start noticing how weak men think, how laziness spreads, how average is celebrated, and you refuse to be part of it. You walk through the world like a wolf among sheep, fully awake while they slumber, and that awareness gives you power. Because now every move you make is intentional, every action is calculated, every second is war. Most people exist by accident. You must live on purpose. No one is coming to save you. That's the raw truth most people can't handle. They want a hero, a rescue, a miracle. They sit around waiting for the government to help, for a mentor to guide them, for a friend to fix their problems, for the right time to act. But let me make it crystal clear. That time will never come. No cavalry is charging over the hill. No one's going to knock on your door and hand you the life you want. You are alone in this battlefield, and that should excite you, not scare you. When I was broke, grinding through the mud, I had no safety net. I didn't cry about it. I used it. I realized I had two options: fold like the weak or fight like the elite. And I chose to fight. Every man must face that moment. The realization that if he doesn't act, no one will. If he doesn't save himself, he'll stay buried. And the moment you accept that, really accept it, you become dangerous. Because now you operate with urgency. Now you stop wasting time blaming, whining, doubting. You become the solution to every problem you face. You see, when you believe someone's coming to save you, you hand over your power. You let your future rest in someone else's hands. But when you grab that responsibility and carry it like a weapon, that's when everything changes. You become relentless, focused, unstoppable. Every rep, every dollar, every battle, you earn it because you know it's all on you. And that's not a burden. It's your greatest weapon, because when you stop waiting and start owning, you become the kind of man no one can control. Remind yourself of the 13 commandments daily, because if you don't, the weak voice inside you will win. Every single morning, the moment your eyes open, a silent war begins. The old you, the lazy, soft, comfortable version of you, starts whispering instantly. Hit snooze, skip the workout, take it easy, one day off, won't hurt. That voice, that's the voice of failure. That's the enemy inside. And if you don't have a stronger voice to counter it, to drown it out, to beat it into submission, you lose before the day even starts. That's why I built these 13 principles. They aren't just motivational lines, they're weapons, shields, ammunition. They're reminders of who the hell I am and why I'm on this path, because the world is full of distractions, temptations, and weakness. And if you don't actively program your mind every morning, the world will do it for you. And guess what? The world will always program you to be soft, to be average, to conform. But I don't let that happen. I speak to myself with force, with precision, with fire. I hammer these commandments into my brain like I'm building armor, because I know one moment of softness can cost me everything I've built. It's repetition that makes a mindset bulletproof. The more you remind yourself, the more unshakable you become. Discipline is built through ritual, and greatness is forged through repetition. So I don't leave my mindset to chance. I load it like a weapon every single morning with these truths, because I know one thing for sure. If I don't, the weak version of me will crawl back in, and I've already buried him. So now you know. 13 truths, 13 weapons. 13 non-negotiables that must echo through your mind every single morning, not once, not occasionally, but daily, like a ritual of war. Because if you don't remind yourself who you are, the world will try to convince you you're nothing. If you don't take control of your day, weakness will. If you don't speak power into your soul, the noise of mediocrity will drown you. I don't care where you're starting from. I don't care how tired, broke, forgotten, or broken you feel right now. What I care about is what you decide to do the moment your feet hit the ground tomorrow. Because if you repeat these 13 truths with force, with belief, and with discipline, you will start walking like a king among peasants, a lion among sheep. The average man hopes for change. The powerful man becomes the change. And the elite man, he doesn't wait, he acts. So wake up tomorrow, look in the mirror, and speak these commandments with your chest. Breathe fire into your lungs and step into the day like a soldier going to war. Because no one's coming to save you. No one's going to do the reps for you. No one's going to build your empire but you. Repeat after me. I am not average. I am the storm. And today, I conquer.